How's it going, y'all? It's old Mikey. First Sunday in November. The first short day. And man, was it ever crazy. Most of the day here today was dark, cloudy, cold, and raining. You know, just not the kind of day that gives you that sunshiny spirit and attitude. I did see towards the end of the day, as the sun was about to set, we got a little sunshine, the clouds broke up, got colder, and I saw a double rainbow, which brightened my spirits. It gave me a little hope. You know, I think there's a lot of times in life where for me anyway, there's a whole lot of sameness. A whole lot of sameness of not necessarily good or bad, just sameness. And, you tolerate it as best you can. And you're always seemingly plowing forward on the concept of life. And sometimes it can get depressing. I felt some of those feelings today. And, I had to sit back for a second and just consider the bigger picture on some things. I'm doing some music things these days, albeit, minimal. But I am doing some recording and writing songs and that sort of thing. And I just got one of them finished maybe a couple weeks ago and sent to the distributor. I think it's going to be available on November the 9th, something like that. It's a cover tune I did. James Taylor, Carolina in My Mind. Pretty neat, Hopefully you guys will check it out when it's out and tell me if you like it. There's another one that I'm doing. I wrote a song called Rear View Mirror. And that one's kind of coming together. I got most of all the parts done. I want to get some heavy background singers on there. I don't know if I can round them up or not. We'll see. But it's got some potential. It kind of sounds cool. It's an entertaining song. And, music's kind of been a constant in my life. It never has been something that I spent a lot of time doing. I was in the music business every single day, full time for 20 years, selling products. And, it's like, that kind of took the love out of music for me. And so when I got out of that business, full time, and I started doing some other things, next thing you know, I picked up the guitar and started playing. And, a couple times I've, gone out into the wilderness and spent some time with the Almighty, just kind of finding out, what he's got to say to me. And one of the things he said to me a couple years ago was that my music was going to be my greatest legacy. And at this stage of the whole thing, it's like, I must not have much of a legacy. But I mean, when you get that kind of word from the Almighty, it's like, man, I better do something with this. So I've embarked upon, putting the energy and effort into doing that. And, it's one of those things that's hard. And, I'm not the most proficient at it. And, I'm busy anyway, so it's hard to do all this stuff. So I'm not really organized enough to be able to do it all. I just fly by the seat of my pants, it seems, with everything I do. And, Lord wants me to be more organized, and I ain't there yet. It's a work that he's doing in my life. But there are many times that in life, in the endeavor that I'm involved in, namely, music production and recording and all, I'm like, you got to go through a tremendous amount of effort to do that. It takes a lot of time. It's not easy. Typically you got to have a lot of people involved in it. I mean, there's a lot going on with that whole thing. And I just, when I think about it, and I think about how much goes into it, and I think about how little comes out of it, not just from the monetary standpoint, but the thing that you keep thinking is going to happen or could happen with a musical thing, doesn't happen, and it gets depressing a little bit. And then it makes you wonder why you even do it at all. And I know I got a lot of musician friends out there who can probably relate to that. And, I'm kind of on a journey a little bit about doing that sort of an endeavor just to see if I can build something out of it. It's fascinating to me. Everybody knows I like getting into the lab. And I'm scientific in nature. And this is something that I'm trying to learn how to be scientific about. And there is a lot of things to understand about it and be scientific about. And ultimately, music, if it's good, makes the world a better place and brings healing and all that. So it's like, wow, it's kind of a big responsibility to be able to do music. It's like, what am I going to do with this? So that leads me to say, in this midst, in this position that I'm in of, downtrodden depression, on the very front end of my most hated season called winter. It's like trying to find the silver lining in it all. Takes some humility, and it takes some studying of the scripture, and it takes some, true contemplation. And I have been impressed by, the words of Jesus in Revelation where he says, to those who overcome, I'm going to give you some of the hidden manna, and I'm going to give you a white stone with your new name on it. And you'll know what that means when you get it. So it's like, okay, I got to overcome. And it's like, overcome what? You know, sometimes it's like, what am I overcoming? I think that overcoming journey is different for every single person. What are you overcoming? You know, I'm overcoming a lot of things in my life. And I have to demonstrate the perseverance. And I'm just like, wow, you know, this opportunity that I have of the most depressing winter, you know, when things get dumbed down, this is a great opportunity for me. It's a great opportunity to organize my music. It's a great opportunity to organize my business. It's a great opportunity to work on my physique and get a little stronger and leaner and meaner. So, and it's a great opportunity to spend time in the Word, and it's a great opportunity to cultivate friendships. And it's just, you know, it's a great opportunity. And so I have to, you know, get my mind focused on the opportunity that's there and not be all gloom and doom because of the gray skies and wintertime and can't get outside and do the things I want to go do. So it's that season. And so, you know, I'm in the process of overcoming a bad attitude, and I'm overcoming a lot of obstacles in my life, you know, financial, work related, relationship oriented, all those things. I'm overcoming a lot every day. And it takes a lot of effort and energy and optimism to be able to overcome things. You know, Jesus himself said, guess what? I have overcome the world. How about that? You know, there's a lot to that statement, okay? And I'm not even going to bore you with the details of that. But if you're anything like me, there's a lot of things that you're overcoming. And sometimes there are things out there that you just, I mean, it's just like a forever elephant in the room that just doesn't seem like it's possible to overcome it. But I want to give you some encouragement today and let you know that it is possible. And it is your calling to be an overcomer. And I don't know what you're trying to overcome out there in the world today, but you need to just subject yourself to God, redouble your efforts, get a good night's sleep if you can, and get up tomorrow and start trying to overcome. See you.